Today we are making the best hamburger buns. You're gonna need flour, salt, eggs, sugar, instant yeast, butter, and then whatever toppings you're gonna want. We're gonna use sesame seeds because I don't have any of my everything but the bagel seasoning, but otherwise that's what I would be using. Okay, if you're gonna be doing lots of baking, which I know you are because you're watching all these recipes and we are learning the skills, you're gonna buy instant yeast in a giant pack. It was a 2-pack. I keep this in the refrigerator. I have the second one the same size in my pantry.
I find that weighing dry ingredients is the most accurate, but most recipes do have the measurements and weights for most recipes.
I definitely recommend using a scale for all of your measurements. This I got off Marketplace. It was a freebie, which is so great.
The recipe calls for lukewarm water, which is usually just a little warmer than your body temperature. Room temperature butter. This butter was so soft, a little too soft, but it'll still do. I used my stand mixer with a dough hook, but you definitely could hand mix and then move it to a floured surface and mix it by hand and knead it by hand, whichever is your preference. It just goes a little faster using a tool. And be sure to always lock your stand mixer and start on the slowest setting and move up to the desired speed. Because it's so humid, I chose to use the least amount of water. So I would recommend starting again on the lowest amount of water and just add it so you get the right consistency in the dough. And looking back at how the dough came out, I wish that I took it out and kneaded it a little on the floured surface to get it nice and smooth, but the results still came out and I am very pleased with this recipe. I will lightly butter the pan and then also lightly butter the plastic wrap that goes over the top. The dough should double in size and then you punch it down. It took about an hour and a half. Now comes the fun part. We're going to divide it into 8 even pieces. If you wanted to make some sliders, you could make them even smaller. You could probably roll it into hot dog buns, whatever you would like. This is a really flexible, easy dough. What you're going to see me doing is getting it into the small ball, pinching up the sides, and then I wish that I rolled it a little more into a ball, but and then also making sure that it turned into a circle, but they all came out beautifully, which you will see at the end. But yes, I wish for this video I actually made them into more of a ball. Once the dough is in a ball, you are going to press it down and smush it down into a flat pancake. And then you can put them onto a greased cookie sheet or some parchment, which I usually grease just to make sure nothing sticks. We're all about easy here, and a little butter goes a long way. I also want to mention that if you don't have a pastry cutter, a knife is going to work just as fine. You don't need any expensive tools to do what I'm doing here. We're going to let them rise for another hour or so till they are nice and puffy. Now you can see they're starting to get nice and puffy. They are almost ready for the oven. We are going to brush on some butter so they get a nice golden color. If you're adding a topping, you're going to add the egg wash on so the toppings stick. Like I said earlier, I am using sesame seeds. I wish I had everything but the bagel because that's what would go on. And then you lightly dust them on and they are ready for the oven. They're going to go into the oven for 15 to 18 minutes until they are nice golden brown, just like this. Then we're going to coat them in butter.
I cannot wait to hear how you love this recipe. Look at this. Perfect little bun. I'm gonna make some with everything but the bagel seasoning, but these are chef's kiss. Enjoy.